managers. So you need some money for a program. For example, subverting the entire evolution of wireless networking.
Yeah.
As the
Take that box off the list.
That one, we already got that covered. There is a mature process in place for vetting and approving unfunded requests and identifying the sources of funding to pay for them.
So that I read that as that's the old school NSA. That's like the old authority structure.
Exactly. We're not authorized to have reserves or money to fund our shortfalls. That means that either ongoing activities must be reduced or it must be forwarded to the NSA Corporation. What?
That takes them being like a business to a whole new level.
What do you mean the request must be forwarded to the NSA Corporation? You are the NSA. Don't tell me they have a separate business entity. What is the difference between the NSA and the NSA Corporation? Okay, let's ask chat. No, we don't have a dark budget, says Cockatoo. Yeah, sure. KFDM. Kathy, I literally read that as KMFDM, the Electronic Music Act. Remember, it's illegal for anyone except CNN to look at these files, says The Fly.
Oh, does that apply to these files too? I thought that was just WikiLeaks. Or the Podesta emails.
Protect what says the 40 eyes are waiting for crumbs from the 5 eyes, pretty much. And worst of all, they're selling the data of their entire civilian population to the 5 eyes in order to get those crumbs dripping down. Maybe like the Trump Corporation, says Kathy B. Okay. Oh my God, this has got to be another screenshot, honestly.
MG Quirk is always in the interesting documents. I say that because I think I remember him being in the first interesting document we looked at.
I think he's pretty much he's pretty much just the pen pusher that is to sign off on all this craziness.
Yeah.
He's delegated all responsibility to the deputies.
Of course he has.
Therefore, he can play golf more often. Okay. That is just strange. The NSA Corporation reference. So what I take that to mean, we knew the NSA operated like a corporation. We didn't know they literally had a corporation.
Definitely.
So what is the difference between the National Security Agency and the NSA Corporation? This is the real question. This is what I said to about how we would I want to get into the financials of how, because we know from the Snowden releases in 2014 that GCSB was accepting money in the millions from the NSA, hundreds of millions, in order to do what it does. It's literally receiving, I mean, this is like definition of treason, is like supplying information on own population to a foreign power for money, literally. So the GCSB has a corporation and the NSA has a corporation, and that's how the money is traded back and forward, because the agencies themselves wouldn't be able to do that? I don't know. This is the question.
Yeah, and my question relating to that is, can we FOIA those companies? Because are they part, because even though they're a corporation of a government agency, are they separate from government operations to the extent that we can't?
I think you would find all of it would be sealed on national security grounds.
That's true.
So
yeah,
regardless of whether or not you could try and sue them, and it would be sealed. It would be sealed on national security grounds. Basically, the only way we can get information about this stuff is by conscientious people on the inside leaking the information, which once again is why WikiLeaks is so important, why Snowden is so important.
Definitely. I just mean in theory, like the way that an agency, any government agency, is separate to a charity or a corporation, an NGO, anything like that, or a church, anything that isn't a government entity cannot then be FOIA'd in the same way. So
which is
I'm just wondering
when we see the NSA partner organizations that it turns out are registered as non-profits.
Yeah, exactly.
Those charities, like the Global Institute for, what was it?
Is it International Affairs or something?
International Studies, Institute for International Studies, something like that. Okay. It's unbelievable. It's like how far-reaching it is. Like this octopus, right? They have like little tentacles going out in every single direction, like around the world and locally, and into business, academics, and everything. Oh my god, incredible!
Definitely.
So there's our next question: is what in the heck is NSA Corporation?
Definitely, that's like a whole article in itself. It's just exploring what that is and what it does and questions about it.
Wow. Okay, dokie. So we definitely need to make a note of that one as well. NSA Corporation. Or the request. Either ongoing activities must be reduced if SID accepts a request for funding, or the request must be forwarded to the NSA Corporation. But SID has had limited success with this latter approach.
Interesting.
So the NSA Corporation must be a separate entity.
Yeah.
Must be. And that separate entity doesn't like giving money to the above board government programs.
Interesting. Well, what do they like giving money to? That's my question.
Bingo. Secondly, all responsibility has been delegated to subordinates conveniently. Therefore, they've delegated it to a separate unit which conducts the request process for the benefit of the people who it was originally pushed down to. So basically, nobody wants to deal with this. That's what I get from that, or they don't want responsibility for it. So they're pushing the responsibility from the top to the deputies, and then the deputies are pushing it onto a separate unit, and so everyone can just point down and say, no, it was their fault.
Yeah, no, it's the musical chairs or it's the football they're throwing around, it's that type of situation.
Here is how it works. Anyone can identify a shortfall, but only designated representatives from those places can validate it and submit it for inclusion. What is UFR? unfunded request. The reps for them are such and such and such. They have a template they must fill out, blah, 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 blah. Then they can submit the request. However, if they decide it's not valid, then it's not eligible. You know, I'm starting to think that this explains this whole nonsense process here. Explains why they didn't have enough of anything. They were completely under-resourced. Yeah. Do you remember when that document with that manager saying, like, we're all squeezed in here, we don't have enough space, we don't have enough desks, we don't have enough physical resources?
Yeah.
This seems to be part of that issue.
Definitely.
Once the total bill is identified, they have a set of business rules to identify the potential sources of funds. If the sources are deemed to be more valuable than what's being asked for, then you don't get funding. So because when they're talking about sources, they're talking about teams and departments that they can cut. So again, in previous documents, we've seen examples of them saying XYZ teams are now being combined into Team A, and therefore XYZ will no longer exist, and we have therefore shuffled around these resources, and this is why, so that they can then pay for their wireless technology collections division that they've just invented, or their whatever else. It's rather ironic that this document is meant to answer your questions about it.
Yeah, definitely.
That just all seems like a massive bunch of bureaucracy.
For sure.
But that NSA Corporation reference is very interesting.
Absolutely.
Very interesting. So guys, has anyone done a web search on NSA Corporation?
Not, I will.
NSA Corporation, a small organ the business serves industry located in Sugar Land, Texas. It opened its door in 2008 and now has an estimated 1 employee. What? Predicted was true. Where are you getting that from? Is that a joke? The 1 employee part is funny, yeah. Okay, I think you're joking.
I'm just looking it up really quick. That's interesting. There actually is information on that, you know, like Bloomberg, where they have information on companies. There is a Bloomberg profile on the NSA Corporation. Interesting. If the page will load.
Cockatoo, NSA Corporation manufactures and distributes starters and alternators in the United States. Its products are used in industrial and heavy-duty applications and imported in domestic automobiles. Founded in 1972, based in Sacramento, California. There must be more NSA corporations, Cockatoo. And I would say that that is not the right one. By the sound of it, NSA Corporation is actually quite a common name in the business registry.
Okay.
So the question will be finding the one that actually pertains to the real NSA.
Yeah.